People sometimes think that project management is all about making lists. Okay, I admit it, I'm an avid list maker. Project management is not about linear relationships, it's about complex interwoven relationships. When you first start working, you won't be running a big project single-handedly. You'll be part of a bigger project team, so it's more likely that you'll be responsible for the smooth running of the project, the smaller crucial details that can sometimes get overlooked. Things like regular team catch-ups, daily checks, keeping the project plan and the team updated. You're going to be using tools like MS Project, so if you have access to these sort of tools now, try and learn how to use them, even for the small things. Think about the process you go for finding a job after university. You're managing different applications in different sectors, arranging different interviews, changing plans midway through, weighing up options in real time. This is project management. You have to think about everything at once, not work your way through a nice, neat to-do list, ticking things off one by one. You remember at school when the teacher always said, read all the questions before you start? Remember that. Don't just set off into the unknown with a tick box. Try to think it right through to the end first. You've got to be organised. That sounds so obvious saying it, but it's true. I use MS Project, which starts out like a simple to-do list, and then you group these into phases. The first few months of a project always start incredibly detailed, and you add to the later stages as you go. But you have to keep an eye on the end goal. The other thing you have to accept is that things will go wrong, and no project is perfect, ever. I learned this on a large project a few years ago. 2 companies were coming together, and my team was responsible for helping to merge parts of their IT systems. We'd got through the whole project pretty smoothly, and we were down to the final stage of testing before launch. Our project was told to work to the testing procedures of one company, and we should have actually used the procedures of the other company. At the very last minute, we discovered that all the testing we'd completed was redundant because it didn't comply to the standards it needed to. But this is when good project management really kicks in. The team quickly transformed from relaxed and confident into focused and up against it, doing an extra set of tests we hadn't planned for. That's when I was pleased I'd worked so hard to build good relationships with my team. I was suddenly having to pull in favour small sorts of people. A few late phone calls, a couple of very, very late nights, and a few favours later, we were ready for launch. Lesson learned. Nobody likes a late night, but if everybody understands we're all on the same side, working towards the same end goal, then it's much easier to pull together as a team. You have to be bold, confident, and able to work on projects that have far-reaching implications. You have to understand the wider context of your project. What might seem huge to you might be a tiny part of a much bigger picture. I'm about to start working with a client on a project that will have deadlines every single day. It's going to be incredibly tough, but I can't wait to get started on it. And I suppose that's the best thing about being a good project manager. It opens doors to all sorts of opportunities, because you never know what project could just be over the horizon.